Ahoy there, shipmates, and welcome back. And as promised, we are going to do a video on Hms Nottingham. But before we get into it, let's discuss something which is really been griping me. Don't like to say this, guys, but I was in this ship on one of my early matches on there. Like I normally do, when you open a match up, you look down the player base list and see if there's any, who's playing and who's not. And there's one guy there, you can see his mic was going, so I thought, okay, I'll introduce yourself and have a natter. Started pushing up, like you do. And bear in mind, this is a cruiser. Yeah, it is not a battleship, it cannot take hits. Then I had this one guy there, right, absolutely rip into me and start calling me a coward, call me this, that, and the other because I'm not pushing up. So he thinks, well, I'm sorry, but if you think I'm going to end up pushing up with a cruiser, which is end up taking, citadels all over the place if you're not careful with it, then no, I'm not going to be doing that. I played this like I do a lot of the cruisers, using smoke screens, using island cover, or using the rudder shift to get your shots in and, dodge and weave. If you don't do that, you end up getting killed quite, straight away. So it's extremely annoying when you get people who do that, then, and be absolutely obnoxious and just really abusive, and he's calling me all the names under the sun. No, I don't play this game. A lot of us do to get that kind of abuse. So you can either deal it back or you can leave. So I'd said a few unkind words to him back and then decided to leave. And then I came back to look at the game results. The Z person who started moaning and groaning about my gameplay was actually on the bottom of the pile, and our team managed to lose and chuck away the match. I say no more. And this is not the first time this has happened. This has happened a few times when you get people who think they are, 4-star admirals in the game and do nothing but cuss and swear you out and be obnoxious, and and they end up being at the bottom of the pile, and it's 9 times out of 10 you're going to be at the top, and it's starting to get quite annoying now. Quite annoying. You don't play this game to get have that to happen. So anyway, that's that off my chest. So let's go with a few command setups and builds which we got going with Nottingham, which I found to be working. So you can obviously use the free-to-play Bruce Fraser. On that, it's going to give you 6 smoke canisters, which they don't last that long, only about 40 seconds, but it's enough to lay down smoke, either do some damage to the other ships, get some damage on them, and then hightail it out and get out of there. But they are very useful to have, right? So having the sonar, you can swap the sonar out for the enhanced AA, but that's really, it does depend on you. Probably maybe if you're in a division, you can have one person running the sonar, the other person running the AA. So that's something to have a look at. And you got some nice heals there. It's just which is very useful. Right, so go to the specs. That's the specs of the ship, not the ones on the enemy nose. So, cool. Before we do that, let's have a look at the inspiration means they got. So, using Akamoto, using Nikolai Kuznetsov, Beyond Range, Niter, Punch Through, and Fixated, and Fully Packed. Right, so You could either go for that one as well, home run for the extra torpedoes, range, but an extra 3% of detecting virus seems to do have HC in this ship, so it's useful. Okay, so back into the specs. So range is 18.9 as opposed to 15.6, which is standard. Shell grouping's good, so we're all on the green all the way down. Fire and chances for next to 2%, so it's from 15%. AP damage is 4,950, and armor penetration is 450 mil. So, and HC was just, it's been spec'd into that much, it's 2,850. Don't really need to go into the rest of it really. Well, I suppose you can get to have a look at torpedoes. Torpedoes, you could do what you've done with Rodney, you put Tanaka on it and get a little bit more damage out of that, but then you're going to 62 knots and 14,532 damage, so they are going to make ship's eyes water when they hit to make contacts, and they are the single spread torpedoes. You get 2 banks on each ship, so they can do a significant amount of damage when they hit. Maneuverability, well, it's a bit shifty in the water. 700 meters turning circle with 7-second rudder shift with Bruce Fraser, and he's going through the water at 35.5 knots, so not too bad. So as I say, that's Bruce Fraser. Let's jump into another commander. Now, as you can see, I've got 6 commanders. Well, I would say 6. I don't need Neptune yet, so it's not ranked up high enough. But what is it with all these Azalane commanders? They're all showing the cleavage. Yeah, it's definitely an 18+ game, isn't it? All right, okay, you could use the Azalane Belfast. And not I used to do sometimes with Dead, but to make it nice and stealthy, you're going to put Andrew Liminaire. Hoping I pronounced that correctly. You got minus 23 for time it fires at guns there. Then you got Nikolai Kutsov as well. Then you got obviously the minus 19% with the Belfast commander. So you make it extremely stealthy when you're in the smoke, so basically all the rest is going to be the same as what it was the other commander, but if you want a stealth build, and not be lit up like a Christmas tree when you fire any guns, that's another option. But the one I've been experimenting with, been using a fair bit, is Chancellor Gorn. And you're saying, why is that then? Well, let's get into it and I'll show you why. Because this fella has this intuitive. Now, for right there, is very, very useful, because that then turns in this cruiser into effectively a big destroyer. Because now, when you're hunting destroyers, instead of actually guessing where they are, you can go and chase after them and kill the little blighters, right? Especially when you got sonar on this ship. So that's very, very useful. It's useful when you're in a division, especially if you're playing into rank battles or fleet battles, to have a ship where you can track down the destroyers. And it's very effectively doing that. Or you could go with only those sort of Carnet, whatever that is. But anyway, you can see what it says there. Gives you extra wallop to your guns at 7% when you're to your citadels when the ship is in less than 7k extra damage to your ship when it's in a certain range, right? So less than 7 kilometers. So that's it. If you get if the ship is in less than 7 kilometers, it gives you plus 7% on your damage to Citadel. Right, there you go. So then after that's punched through full speed ahead, and you got obviously more a bit quicker weather shift and makes the ship a lot quicker. And then I go over here for maximum HP and incoming damage -4, or you go Piercer, or you can go Intuitus up there, but I would put into going these two, yeah, mainly this one here. You wouldn't go wrong with either of those two skills and that, but that's the key one here. It's intuitive. Okay, so that's that one. You can go, super stealthy with Belfast and this one too. So that's no way to play it. And also try that as well with Kutusov with Sharnos. But we'll look at the stats with preset 1. With that, I think it's going to be exactly the same as what it was before. No, it's actually worse to a certain degree. Because the main battery now has gone to 18 kilometers down to 17. So, but we have brought some of that back with Nikolai Kutsov, because we obviously this commander hasn't got beyond range, so you can't have it all. But yeah, I've got that intuitive, which you mentioned earlier, because gives you able to see what's out there and track enemy destroyers down. So they give it in one hand to take away the other. Right, we're going to bore people to death going all the way down this build line. Basically, everything's all exactly the same as the other commanders builds we use on that. But that's obviously, this is where it comes into it different, because now it's gone to 6.1 weather shift with a build of maximum speed of 34.1 knots, so it's very, very fast. Alright, so without further ado, let's get into gameplay and see Nottingham in action. Alright then, shipmates, right, back into the action. Let's get into it, into gameplay, and see what this ship can do. It's like a miniature Nelson stroke miniature Rodney, I mentioned there in the studio. I absolutely love playing that sort of style of ship, so yeah, some people don't, some people do, but that's here or there. If you build it right, play it right, all guns over the front, it's a good way to playing a ship, because you don't have to show your board side. So here we go. I think you're going to like this one. Not the highest scoring match you're going to like to see in this ship by a long way, but it's still nice and juicy one. We still end up finishing on top of the tree, which is why we put these out there. There's no point in making a video I'm going to be on the bottom and end up putting it out there for the Joe public to see. So anchors away and off we go. So scouting around, looking around for ships, and this guy over here is on our left is not even moving, which is can be extremely annoying. I like to push up to a certain degree, but not too much. There's a fine balance of pushing up too much, and then he does decide he's going to start to push forward, and then he goes straight across me, knows me ship, instead of waiting for me to go past. Yes, you couldn't make it up, could you? Spatial awareness, guys, it's a wonderful thing. Obviously this guy ain't got it. I've seen that I was coming over there, and then decides to start his engines to get the ship moving instead of waiting for me to go past. Wonderful. So I can't see anything at the moment. We got on the mini map, we got showing you the enemy teams over there to the right side, towards B and C cap. We're bound to run across them shortly. We got a battleship to the next of us. Not sure what it is at the moment. It's a Maggie. A Maggie with a very fetching red and white camo on. I don't think that would have been there in World War II. So, probably one of the Christmas camos. I don't like those collaboration camos. I like to try and keep my ships as historically accurate as I possibly can. Apart from obviously when you run in the Union Jack flag. Well, we've been British, you've got to be proud of your country, haven't you? So, not running the Union Jack camo today, but it's the standard box camo. So, enemy team's already lost their one destroyer. We can keep on pushing up on this left hand side here. And there we see the Germans. So there's a Heinrich right there. So now he's going to demonstrate seeing just spray and pray those torpedoes out there. We know there's a destroyer in that cap somewhere, so we don't know where. I'm not going to push in. We go right there. Mr. Heinrich's got his eyes on this, so I'm sure he can quite easily delete me if I'm not careful. Oh, can we get anything? Those zoning torpedoes, they call them. They're not at the moment, but so we know the Heinrich's coming in and turning away. So yes, there you go. 2 torps on the destroyers in that cap. Oh well, that was a surprise. He had something in that cap. We're not sure. He must have been a destroyer because it just came up on there. That's a lot of hit points for a destroyer. Yeah, so now we're just going to put the torps down in there and see if we can be just as lucky with Mr. Heinrich coming around the corner. So now I'm doing everything I can, just drop the smoke, get the hell out of there. We know he's coming, so now they'll end up turning around. I think they'll try and get the torpedoes off the other side, because AP can easily wreck me. And then we've got a zig and zag, more zag and zig, and then we've got a fire one. He doesn't take it into his torpedoes, unfortunately. And we've got a fire on him, we've got another shipmate kind of along there. So he's putting some hurt on that as well. Got us on fire. But gotta keep that HE on and keep them burning. You got the epic mod there. I always try and use my steel to use the epic and legendary mods. It certainly helps. So let this Maggie go past, and we'll try and put some torps in the water. See, one thing I love about this style of ship, you can single fire the torpedoes, you can stack them on the top of it, so as you get in a scenario like this where this guy's coming head on you, you could put one behind each other so they can't dot it the way the torpedoes. You'll find it a lot more difficult rather than the ice cream cone style with the Hms Nottingham. So we're going to get this guy down. Yeah, there you go. He's going. If he gets left alone, should have him. Kaboom, and kill number two. Luckily we're in a team which actually seems to know what they're doing, because at this point we are, let me see, I have to get the screen here to see what made me, 8 minutes into it, and all their team is now gone. we got 2 captures and we lost 1 ship. So 48,000 damage so far. HE is very effective, and you know, on this you can see there, certainly does set fires really well. AP is also very good. Never assisted, I mean, I got an assist on that one. And for those over 18 people watching it, and makes a nice hand job. I mean, okay, Snow put itself in smoke. Got a Zara right here, looking at those lovely citadels in the Zara. And Zara's going to go down shortly. Yeah, going to finish this one off. Kaboom, and he's gone. That's our 3rd kill. So now the points are right up on the board. 934. Blue team's definitely got this one. Tortoise coming, got the for Vinci, those to our left. Going on AP, nice shell group in there. Unfortunately, we don't get it. Always the case. And there we have it. That's the end of the match. So the scores to the boards will be coming up shortly. So I hope you guys enjoyed that one. So there we are, 84,000 damage. I say not the highest, but it does showcase them. There we are at the top of the tree, and not the highest scoring match you're going to see with all the Warships Legends, but it just showcases how good the Nottingham can be. So 84,000, 3 kills, 2 assisted, 4 citadels. Gotta love it. A few screenshots there to confirm that what I just said. So if you like it, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one, folks. See you for now.